Transition Awareness Breathing. Feeling grounded for both children and parents is essential for healthy living and learning. Join Eartha Powell on this series for tips and tools for creating a harmonious environment for learning. Transition Awareness Breathing will help you and your child find an individualized path to tackle change, promote lifelong learning, and discover new approaches to calmness.
Hi everyone, it's me, Eartha. So as I was preparing for the next series of our podcast with one of the top ranking charter schools in Texas and the nation, I just wanted to share a few thoughts and a review from our last session. This school, Eleanor Colet's Hebrew Language Academy, has a strategy which builds success for their students. And I'm going to let the administration team tell you all the details, because as we progress throughout the future, a lot of statistics are coming in where it's indicating that the population, particularly the United States, Europe, and several other countries, is decreasing. And so as maybe a parent or maybe even a workforce recruiter, one may wonder, how is our future being prepared to contribute and be strong community leaders and contributors in the future. And so I kept that in mind, and as I was doing the research, I invite you to look at the sources that I pulled in the description. And what I found out is that what that means is that their students are prepared for not only high school, but they continue on to college. And maybe, not everyone finds they don't want to go to college, but many find skills that that any community really needs to grow. And so I just am so excited to bring the second episode of our series to you, and just going to start with a little review, and then I'll turn it back over to our champion team of educators. Thank you so much for joining me, and let's get started. So ECLA has been ranked like an A. These are the champions.
My name is Tracy Smith, and I'm currently the Vice Principal for Kinder through Second here at ECLA.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Catherine Cohen, and I'm the principal of ECLA, and I supervise the cohort of 3rd through 5th grade on a little more regular basis.
Hi, I'm Simmer Jawanda, and I am Vice Principal of Middle School.
And sometimes, you're trying so hard to be positive when you're challenged with especially a special child that's just pulling you in paths that you have never even ventured before. And so to teach them those soft skills in telenursing, we call it soft skills. And expecting this child to get it. And one thing that I have realized, not only with dealing with my son Zachariah, is even in teaching my little TAB friends, is they have to have a sense of, okay, if it didn't work the first time, we're going to try again. Okay, so we made a mistake. Okay, so we're going to recognize it's not bad. It's just that we can do it better. And that takes a lot. That takes a lot of inner reflection, and so I can't only imagine you have a whole system here where your teachers and your administrators, and I'm sure everyone that's involved, doing the same thing to get on the same page of music, because change comes with consistency. Okay, so we've passed first grade, we've passed second grade, and everybody's kind of putting their words to their feelings and things like that. And I know how ECLA is really great at each grade level, introducing them to different social structures through the sociology and things like that. How do you help your children work like in groups? And the reason why I ask this is because it seems like project-based learning is starting to creep in a lot of different work systems and things like that. How are you addressing like project-based learning in this early age?
So I think we are doing it very gradually, because you have to have skill set. You have to have independent skill set. You have to have a sense of personal responsibility and understanding of what your role is. And I feel like you have to have a kind of good sense of where you fit in the community. And I believe that kids are still learning that through fifth grade. We talk to a lot of parents around third, fourth, fifth grade is the time when kids go from everybody's my friend. They come home from school, my friend Billy and my friend Johnny and then my friend Susie, to kind of understanding that there is a social kind of dynamic to a classroom. The sociological idea of social pecking order and different groups is natural, and it tends to happen around fourth and fifth grade. So we spend a little more time helping them navigate that around friendships and maybe in PE working with groups. And then when they get into middle school, we feel like that's a better time to introduce the idea of group work. Now it does happen in the lower grades. You may work with a partner. I'm going to put you with two other people. You're going to each answer a question and share your answer, but not project-based learning in the sense that I think you're discussing. Definitely not through fifth grade. More group work to get in the habit of working with others, all of the other pieces of letting go of some control and or learning that you have to step up and do a part of it. You can't rely just on other people to do it. Kind of understanding all of those skills around group work before then there's project learning involved as well.
And then there's academic consequences for it, right? Once it becomes a grade, like you're working in a group and this project is a grade.
How does that how does that work with the
so we do a lot of projects throughout the different subject areas. Sometimes they're picking their own groups, sometimes they're put in groups, and mostly teachers are looking at personalities and trying to get them to work with new people every time so that they can develop those personal skills in terms of like, hey, you can't take over a project, you can't do the whole thing, or you can give yourself a lot of work, and giving them different roles and then holding them accountable for those roles. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of projects, but then there's also, they'll have in that grading scheme, there'll be individual grades. So like, did you do your part? Mm-hmm. And then there's reflection from the other teammates on, did that person do their part? So that's a little more anonymous, but the teacher gets feedback on who did their part. But, along the project as well, there's been so many issues of like, well, this person didn't do their part, and that sometimes comes up when they want to pick their groups. Mm-hmm. And they pick their groups, and then it's kind of like, well, you decided that this person is in your group, and you guys, moving through that and choosing wisely next time based on that. And I think that's learning in itself as well, is learning personalities and, and who do I want to work with and what values are important to me to look for in a person when I'm looking to work with them as well.
And who am I in a group?
Yeah, who am I?
I think that self-reflection of who am I in a group is something we give them the opportunity to learn here before it has much bigger consequences in high school. It seems like everything has much bigger consequences when they get to high school. It affects their ability, for college, pretty much the first week of high school. So we feel it's more of our job responsibility to prepare them for all of that for high school than it is to mimic those types of projects specifically here in ECLA. We want to graduate kids who are self-advocators, who have a voice and know that their voice is valued in a classroom amongst their peers or by teachers. And we want them to hopefully have helped figure out what kind of learner they are, what kind of student they are, what kind of classmate they are, and how they fit in the school community. Because I think all of that helps them be very successful in high school.
I think that is so outstanding. As a parent and listening to other ECLA graduates from other high schools, ECLA has a really high reputation at these high schools. I mean, your students are really doing well. And there a few of the students that I talked to, they felt that they were really prepared when they left here. And I'm not just talking about Karine. I'm talking about other children, her friends, and so, it's already a change of environment. And so that them knowing that you have prepared them, it takes away a little bit of stress, so.
I'm glad to get the feedback that they're prepared. We hope that we prepare them, and we feel like we do a good job of sending our babies on to their next chapter. But it's good to hear the feedback. But, most of the kids really want and crave all of the additional peripheral pieces of helping them become a stronger student and a stronger person before they move on. They're very open to it themselves, which is amazing at 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, to take direction and guidance from all of these adults in more than just their education, to help them, like I said, find their voice and find their center and then move on and hold on to that.
Be sure and pick up a copy of Tab Mindfulness, Awareness and Coloring Activities in a Pandemic World. It's not just an ordinary coloring book. It features 23 illustrations to stimulate thought, relaxation, and creativity for anyone between the ages of 4 and 94. Increase your positive self-talk energy, unlock new creative paths, transform your time once or twice a week to create beautiful art while strengthening confidence, building positive self-talk, and sensitize self-awareness. Tab Mindfulness, Awareness and Coloring Activities in a Pandemic World. It's available now at Amazon.com.